Hello everybody. I'm going to show you how to retorque head studs. I got you take you a run you a couple of heat cycles on this on your engine. Let it cool down completely. Take you a breakover bar, long ratchet. Start in the middle of that head and loosen that head stud about a quarter turn. Then retorque it. Take you a Sharpie and mark it and go to the next stud. You don't have to loosen it all the way, but if you do it, it's not going to hurt anything. And you just follow your torque sequence. Make sure you mark each one with a Sharpie or paint mark or whatever, so you won't lose track of where you're at. Anyway, so that's how you retorque a head there. Just follow your sequence. That's how I do it. 8 different people do it 8 different ways, but that's what works for me. Here I'm going to show you why you don't use a roll pin punch and a hammer to drive out your roller tip pins. It tends to turn the one-piece pin into a two-piece pin. And you watched my previous video, I was showing you how to modify these pins for extra oiling. Well, driving them out with a hammer was a bad idea. And if I had an arbor press, that would have been the ideal way to do it. But long story short, if you have rocker arm issues, just buy new rocker arms. These things has got a fatigue life, and that rocker arm right there, I put 500 passes on it, and most of them is around 6,000 to 6,500 on the street. I was doing a lot of pedaling and stuff, and every now and then I'd get lucky where I could turn it to 7,200, but if I had good traction. But like I said, I got 500 passes out of that. You see that trunnion is loose? Started getting inconsistent valve lash. And that rocker arm there, that silver one has got 200 to 250 passes. Nothing wrong with that trunnion. There was really nothing wrong with the rocker. I just didn't. I cleaned them up and didn't soak them in oil. And run the roller tips dry for about, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes, and rev that motor up to 8,000 when they wasn't fully oiled, and that's what hurt them roller tips. So the trunnion was good on that one, and I could have got a few more passes on it, but I'll show you something on here. See where that pin, where it's protruding out on that side, that pin is fully seated in that rocker arm. Well, on this particular rocker arm, it was, that part right there was flush before I drove it out, and it was protruding on the other side. So that meant the pin was trying to walk out of there. And I noticed that on some other rockers, it wasn't near as bad. But I noticed they wasn't fully seated. You know, when I drove the pins back in, they'd go in further. So that right there is just a sign that I just need to get new rockers, and I'll order a brand new set of heavy duty big block Chevy rockers from Harlan Sharp. They're supposed to take a lot more spring pressure than these rocker arms. And anyway, and so I don't. As long as I soak them rockers in oil before I run them, I shouldn't have any oil. I shouldn't have any more metal in the top end. And it was getting plenty of oil up there. There was plenty of oil on the trunnion, and when I took them apart, there was oil in there. It just that little bit of running them dry was all it took to gall them a little bit and everything. And like I said, it didn't get any metal in the bottom, didn't get none in the lifter valley or anything like that. It was just right there in that top end. Caught it just in time. Ordered me a another stud girdle. The stud girdle that I got right there, that stud girdle works with standard length valves on factory heads. The heads that I'm running on this engine here is race right heads, which is a factory replacement head. And I put longer valves in these heads, so it raised the rocker arms up. And unlike a small block Chevy or head like that, you know, with inline valves, these canted valves, you can't raise the you don't have the luxury of raising the stud girdle up to clear the rockers. So this company here sells a stud girdle that raises it up a quarter inch. That's more than enough clearance, you know, for what I'm fixing to do. If I set the valve lash on them rockers and get everything set and all, that stud girdle hits the rockers, and so I can't use it. And no more than I'm going to be running and racing and stuff. Stud girdle work out just fine for me. It's a little aggravating to set the valve lash. Sometimes you chase it a little bit, sometimes you get lucky, but once you find that sweet spot on there and everything, they're not that bad. Shaft rockers would be a lot nicer, but I don't have the money for that. Don't have the time to race like I used to either, with my work schedule and all. So anyway, y'all stick around. As soon as them parts gets in and I get that top end back together, get the valve covers on, I'll make a video to show you how to install a F2 Pro Charger with a side slinger belt. I'll show you how what I had to do to keep from breaking belts and keep from slinging belts off this thing. So y'all stick around for that. That's coming up in the near future there. Y'all have a good day. I'll talk to you later.